The India-Pakistan conflict remains one of the most enduring and complex rivalries in modern geopolitics. Since the partition of British India in 1947, which created the independent states of India and Pakistan, the two nations have fought multiple wars and skirmishes, rooted in deep political, territorial, religious, and historical tensions. Central to this rivalry is the Kashmir dispute, but the animosity encompasses broader issues of national identity, regional influence, and historical grievances. This video explores the origins, evolution, and impact of the wars fought between India and Pakistan, offering insight into one of South Asia's most volatile and consequential rivalries. The seeds of conflict were sown in 1947, when the British colonial rulers decided to divide the Indian subcontinent along religious lines. The result was the creation of a secular India with a Hindu majority and a Muslim majority Pakistan, divided into West Pakistan, present-day Pakistan, and East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. The partition was accompanied by one of the largest mass migrations in history and extreme communal violence, leading to the deaths of hundreds of thousands and the displacement of millions. The princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, which had a Muslim majority population but a Hindu ruler, became the flashpoint of conflict. Its ambiguous accession to India in 1947 sparked the First Indo-Pak War, marking the beginning of decades of tension and violence. The First Indo-Pak War 1947 to 1948, the Kashmir conflict begins. The Maharaja of Kashmir initially wished to remain independent, but chose to accede to India under threat of invasion by tribal militias supported by Pakistan. India sent troops to defend Kashmir after the signing of the Instrument of Accession. The war lasted from October 1947 to December 1948. Pakistani tribal irregulars and army forces clashed with Indian troops. India took the matter to the United Nations. A UN-mediated ceasefire was declared in January 1949. The territory was divided by the line of control, with Pakistan controlling roughly one-third Azad Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, and India the rest. The issue was left unresolved, sowing the seeds for future conflicts. The Second Indo-Pak War 1965 renewed conflict over Kashmir. Pakistan launched Operation Gibraltar, aiming to infiltrate forces into Indian Kashmir to incite rebellion. India responded with a full-scale military campaign. The war began in August 1965 and involved intense fighting in Kashmir and along the international border. Major battles occurred in regions such as Lahore, Sialkot, and the Rann of Kutch. The war ended in a stalemate, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The Tashkent Agreement, brokered by the Soviet Union, was signed in January 1966. Despite diplomatic efforts, no long-term resolution was reached. The Third Indo-Pak War 1971, the birth of Bangladesh. The political and civil crisis in East Pakistan, where the Bengali population demanded autonomy and recognition of their electoral victory. Pakistan's military crackdown on the Bengali population led to a humanitarian crisis and an influx of refugees into India. India supported the Bengali independence movement, Mukti Bahini. War broke out on December 3, 1971, following a preemptive Pakistani air strike on Indian airbases. India launched a swift and decisive military campaign on both eastern and western fronts. Indian forces entered Dhaka, leading to the surrender of over 90,000 Pakistani troops. East Pakistan became the independent nation of Bangladesh on December 16, 1971. The war significantly altered the geopolitical landscape of South Asia. The Simla Agreement was signed in 1972, reiterating the need for bilateral resolution of disputes. The Kargil War 1999, a high-altitude conflict. Pakistani soldiers and militants infiltrated Indian positions in the Kargil sector of Kashmir. The goal was to sever the link between Kashmir and Ladakh and internationalize the Kashmir issue again. Indian forces launched Operation Vijay to drive out the intruders. The war was fought at altitudes over 18,000 feet, making logistics and combat particularly challenging. India recaptured most of the positions by July 1999. International pressure, particularly from the United States, forced Pakistan to withdraw. Pakistan faced global criticism for initiating the conflict. Causes of continued conflict. Kashmir dispute, the most persistent issue, with deep emotional and political significance on both sides. Religious and nationalist sentiments. Religious differences and nationalist ideologies fuel animosity. Terrorism. Pakistan-based militant groups have been implicated in attacks on Indian soil, increasing mistrust. Strategic competition. Both nations vie for regional dominance, particularly in South Asia. Lack of sustained dialogue. Periodic breakdowns in diplomatic engagement hinder long-term peace. Consequences of the wars. Human cost. Tens of thousands of military and civilian lives lost, and millions affected by displacement and trauma. Economic impact. Military spending diverts resources from development and poverty alleviation. Nuclearization. Both countries possess nuclear weapons, raising the stakes of any future conflict. Diplomatic isolation. Pakistan, in particular, has faced periods of international isolation due to perceived support for terrorism. Cultural division. The wars have deepened social and cultural divides, even among diaspora communities. Peace remains elusive, but not impossible. Track 2 diplomacy, trade, and cultural exchange have occasionally helped build bridges. Confidence-building measures, international mediation, though resisted by India, and people-to-people connections are essential. However, lasting peace will require political courage, mutual trust, and sustained engagement. The wars between India and Pakistan are more than mere military confrontations. They are manifestations of unresolved historical grievances, competing national identities, and complex geopolitical ambitions. While both nations have made strides in development and global diplomacy, their bilateral relationship continues to be marred by suspicion and hostility. The human cost of this rivalry is profound, and the nuclear backdrop adds a dangerous dimension. Yet, the future need not be defined by the past. Through diplomacy, dialogue, and regional cooperation, India and Pakistan can move toward a more stable and peaceful coexistence. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.